This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us. Haley is off tonight. Our top story, the White House's new revised travel ban. President Trump signing the executive order today, and this time travelers had 10 days to prepare. ABC's Janae Norman joins us live from Washington with a breakdown of what else makes this order different. Janae?
Legal experts say this new travel ban has a better chance of standing up in court than the president's first executive order, but others say there are still concerns about whether it's constitutional.
President Trump vowed to take the fight over his first travel ban to the Supreme Court, but ultimately decided to revoke that order, and today, behind closed doors, signed his new executive order that takes effect March 16th.
While no system can be made completely infallible, the American people can have high confidence. We are identifying ways to improve the vetting process and thus keep terrorists from entering our country.
So what's new? For starters, Syrian refugees are no longer singled out with an indefinite ban. The order no longer makes exceptions for religious minorities, and it explicitly does not impact dual citizens and those with valid U.S. visas. But the new order suspends the entire refugee program for 4 months. And while Iraq has been removed from the list, there are still 6 majority Muslim countries where travel to the U.S. is banned for 90 days. The Attorney General says there's good reason to block foreign nationals from Sudan, Syria, Iran, Libya, Somalia, and Yemen.
3 of these nations are state sponsors of terrorism. The other 3 have served as safe havens for terrorist countries where governments have lost control of their territory to terrorist groups like ISIL or Al-Qaeda and its affiliates.
Still, critics say the order does nothing to improve national security.
Is still mean-spirited, misguided, and in my judgment, goes against what America's all about.
And the Washington State Attorney General, whose lawsuit brought down the first travel ban, says his team is reviewing this new executive order and deciding the next step. Live in Washington, Janae Norman, ABC News. Back to you.
All right, Janae, thank you. President Trump is not backing down from his claim that former President Obama wiretapped his phones at Trump Tower during the campaign. The president has yet to provide any proof of his charge. FBI Director James Comey disagrees with the president, calling on the Justice Department to refute President Trump's unsubstantiated claim. In an interview with ABC News today, White House Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said the White House wants Congress to investigate the matter.
And all we're asking is that we let Congress do its job. Let's let the House Intelligence Committee review this, investigate it, as they committed to do over the weekend.
Former President Obama denied the wiretapping allegations through a spokesman, and his former national security advisor, Ben Rhodes, also denounced Trump's allegations. President Trump also the center of a heated debate in Englewood. That's where Congressman Tom Rooney held his first town hall meeting in Sarasota County after protesters demanded their voices be heard. ABC7's Kate Flexter was there and joins us now with a look at the top issues discussed. Kate?
Thanks, Scott. The topics ranged from health care to Social Security to President Trump's alleged involvement with Russia. And around each turn, Congressman Rooney faced stiff resistance from the crowd.
Before the town hall even began, claps in the audience calling for Congressman Tom Rooney to take the stage. The Okeechobee Republican holding his first town hall meeting in Sarasota County after protesters confronted him in Venice demanding their voices be heard. And on Monday, they had the opportunity. Within minutes, Rooney faced a sea of boos and red cards showing disapproval.
They're playing to their own audience instead of their entire constituency.
Making sure that all parties are heard in this political season that we have.
Among the sea of red cards, a few green ones voicing support for President Trump and Congressman Rooney.
Regardless of what side of the issues you're on, he has a right to put forth his agenda and be heard without the obstructionism.
The first topic, the Affordable Care Act, which Rooney called a failure, but said a proper replacement must be in place before repealing it. Then Social Security. Followed by President Trump's alleged involvement with Russia.
We have zero evidence that the Russian government and the Trump campaign coordinated in any way.
Time and time again, the conversation steering towards President Trump. The crowd calling for his impeachment, Rooney standing by him.
I think that you just need to give this guy a chance.
Those on both sides agreed on one thing: the importance of coming together as a country.
Our country, unfortunately, is yelling at each other, and I don't think that's America. That's not the America that I remember.
It's a pretty big constituency, but I hope he listens to all of us who are concerned about the health of the democracy.
We did reach out to Rooney's office to ask about future town halls, but haven't heard back yet. Scott?
All right, Kate, thank you. Meanwhile, Suncoast Congressman Vern Buchanan has yet to hold a town meeting since President Trump took office. Protesters have been gathering outside of his office for weeks now, demanding to be heard. Those protesters accused Buchanan of intentionally avoiding constituents by choosing not to hold a town hall meeting during congressional recess week. Buchanan is one of many elected officials nationwide who are feeling the heat. Constituents across the country say their elected officials are missing in action. Congressman Buchanan is known for regularly holding town hall meetings. His staff say he was unable to hold one because he was in Afghanistan meeting with Florida troops. However, that's little consolation for the voters who want to speak with their congressman.
We have been here weeks on end, delivering letters, speaking with his staff, and nothing has been heard.
I consider him missing in action.
Now, don't be a chicken. Show up.
Tonight on ABC7 at 7, we'll talk with concerned constituents as well as Congressman himself about this issue. Time now to get a check on our windy weather yet again today. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Some good news on that front, though. The winds are going to lessen somewhat throughout the day tomorrow, and the small craft advisories are going to be relaxed as well across the Suncoast waters. Currently, we have a few clouds around. Nice temperature, though, 76 degrees, and the humidity low, 40%. Winds are out of the east at 17, still pretty brisk, and the pressure 30-26. That's way up there. And that high pressure ridge will settle southward a little bit and off to the east, and that will lessen the winds somewhat throughout the day on Tuesday. 69 right now into Jacksonville. It's 76 in Sarasota, 78 in Venice now, 77 Minnesota Key and Inglewood at 76, Port Charlotte at 75 degrees, and the same now in Arcadia. You can see the clouds kind of rotating and the showers rotating around this large area of high pressure, which continues to really dominate the weather over much of the southeast United States. It is funneling a lot of moisture into the plain states right now, and some rough weather expected there. For us, a few showers in the inland counties are possible, just a sprinkle here and there, but those winds do remain strong out of the east to northeast, anywhere from 15 to 20 miles up and down the coast, and even inland areas now. Port Charlotte at 15, Northport 17 miles an hour out of the east, northeast, and Minnesota Beach at 17 as well. More on the forecast for the rest of the week coming up in a few minutes. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office deciding not to follow a judge's order to continue security at the historic county courthouse by the end of today. The Sheriff's Office informing Chief Judge Charles Williams that it will instead file for a review in the Court of Appeals later this week. Sheriff's officials say people have the constitutional right to concealed carry in most parts of that building, and a metal detector screening at the entrance could violate those rights. The chief judge says the sheriff's office is obligated to provide security there.
Chapter 790.06, which is the concealed weapons carry statute, says you cannot carry in a courtroom or a courthouse. Doesn't say anything about court facilities, so we have a difference of opinion on the definition.
Chief Judge Williams wrote a statement in response to the sheriff's office's letter today saying, quote, "The 12th Circuit Court respects the right of the sheriff to take this action and will let this matter take its proper legal course." Now to new details on a deadly I-75 crash over the weekend. 3 people died in the Sunday wreck. The 3-vehicle crash happened near the Toledo Blade exit in Northport around 5 a.m. Sunday. Troopers say 23-year-old Nathaniel Perkins hit the back of a tractor trailer that was stopped on the shoulder of the road. Perkins' car was then hit by a 3rd vehicle. Perkins and a passenger, Janisha Gatson, died. A 2nd passenger in that car was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. The driver of the truck, Eric Shawback, was also hit and killed after getting out of the truck. Troopers say the investigation continues. A reminder for drivers in Venice, the project to redesign a busy roundabout is now underway. The Florida Department of Transportation is making changes to the roundabout at Jacaranda Boulevard and East Venice Avenue. Signs have been posted to alert drivers of the activity. Crews are working to make the roundabout safer by adjusting the entry lanes. There will be some overnight lane closures between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. as a result. The project, though, is expected to be complete by the early summer. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a funding fight in Tallahassee leads to an abrupt resignation if Enterprise Florida is expected to survive this year's legislative session. And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back. He'll have the full weather forecast for the upcoming work week. And fast food and snacks are the go-to diet for most teenagers, but a certain diet could raise the risk of breast cancer. We'll have details in Health Smart.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like full ID theft protection, and that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman are the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction. Spend time choosing from exciting colors, textures, and accessories, and then collaborate with one of our expert designers to create the perfect custom storage solution to fit your style and budget. At California Closets, we design everything to exceed your expectations for any room in your home. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the nearest showroom to you. California Closets, designed to your life.
Peace of mind is really crucial. The safety and security of this higher level of care, I think, is really important. Great nurses, great doctors, technologies that can really help when you are dealing with complications, high-risk newborns, or the infants that have medical conditions. This is the kind of care that we want at our public hospital.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like cell phone protection for 3 phones, plus an interest-bearing account. And that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
The head of Florida's jobs recruiting agency is stepping down after just 2 months on the job. Chris Hart abruptly resigned today. He cited an ongoing conflict with Governor Rick Scott over the future of Enterprise Florida, the outfit responsible for recruiting companies to the state. Hart's departure comes during a critical time. The House Speaker is pushing a bill to scuttle the organization and strip it of all state money. The legislation could reach the House floor this week. Governor Scott has sharply criticized House Republicans for pushing that bill. ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now, and it was a down day to start our new week on Wall Street. Richard?
Scott, you're absolutely right, but when I look back at what's been happening since November, we've had 3.5 months of almost markets going straight up. So a little bit of profit taking, and I think that's really the case today, is what happened. The low of the day was minus 93. We did see that mid-morning, but when you see the close, you'll see it's not all that terrible. Let's take a look at the closing numbers for the day. There you see the Dow fell 51 points, 1/4%, closing at 20,954.34. That on volume of 688 million shares. The NASDAQ for the day was down by almost 0.4%, 21 points, closing at 5,849.18. That on volume of 1,505 million shares. And the S&P, it's a trifecta on the downside, down 8 points, 1/3%, closing at 2,375.31. General Motors today announced with big smiles that it has finally sold its Opel division. I say with big smiles because Opel has been a huge problem for GM. They have lost $18 billion in the last 16 years. I guess that's not working too well. They sold it for $2.3 billion to a French company, the same company that makes Citroën and Peugeot. Pardon my French, not so good. Anyway, that being said, General Motors stock actually went lower for the day, but I've got a feeling, Scott, that as things go on, they'll be very happy that Opel is in their rear view mirror, if you will.
Yeah, losing that much money, I would imagine. So
yeah.
You also have news on Snapchat, which was a big winner last week.
Right, that was the big hot IPO of the week. But guess what? Today is a new week. The stock was down 12% for the day, down below $24, which was the original offering price to the general public.
Oh, all right. Richard, thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome.
And Bob joins us now with what was really a beautiful
day,
weekend.
yeah.
But, you know, the wind, you know, it helped as the temperature rose to just keep it feeling cool.
Yeah, well, the low humidity, too. When it comes
Yeah.
in from the east, the humidity is always a little lower, and that made it feel quite nice out there. A lot of activities going on. I saw some tents at the lacrosse game with my daughter getting ready to blow over there,
Yeah.
and I know there were some weddings on the beaches, a little bit windy for that, too, and the winds are starting to calm down a little bit. The Van Wezel webcam showing a beautiful sunny day today, and nice cool start, too. That's what I was liking about the morning over the weekend. At least temperatures down into the 50s for a change. And a little bit of clouds coming in from the east, but not much. Great baseball weather. And Norm Schimmel sending this photo right there from what appears to be the press box and playing ball right there at the Pirate Stadium. By the way, ABC7 day this Friday. Come on out and meet the players and have a great time there. I'll be throwing the first pitch in. And today's index, as far as the air quality goes, is up there a little bit. It's in the moderate category at 60. And it's not a big issue, but it is for folks that have problems. Now, we had the red earlier. You saw that. And notice what happens as we move through time. That red moves away. So that's a good sign as high pressure gets bumped down a little bit further south and gets closer to us. Our winds will be still a little bit breezy tomorrow, but not nearly as windy as they have been over the past 3 days, for that matter. In fact, all the way to Friday. The winds are starting to calm down. This is the latest as far as the small craft advisory goes. And you'll notice it's been dropped. They may reissue it, though, for our coast. But right now, that small craft advisory has moved on temporarily. As far as the satellite and radar imagery goes, you can see some of the high clouds moving off to the east, while the low clouds moving from the east to the west. And that's a result of that large surface high pressure system located over the southeastern states. And that's bringing us that easterly fetch, which is bringing some showers along the east coast. And some clouds here late, but really, all in all, a nice day out there. Sarasota, Bradenton at 76. So is the Bradenton area and Venice as well. 76 degrees. The dew point temperature at 50. And that east wind at 17. The pressure at 30-23. And that is continuing to hold steady right now, a very large area of high pressure over the weekend. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s, 71 in Pensacola, Orlando, 2 degrees warmer, the same in Miami now, 76 into Key West, and temperatures around town. Northport, you're at 76, 75 in Cortez, and 70. The Gulf water temperature is cool just a couple of degrees, 75 in Arcadia, but that water temperature is still very warm for this time of year. Well, the wind forecast tomorrow, still, as I said, a bit breezy, coming out of the east and southeast, anywhere from 10 to 15, and then notice what happens by the late afternoon. It starts to subside somewhat, so our winds won't be as strong throughout the day tomorrow. That high pressure ridge is continuing to dominate the weather. You'll see those clouds kind of rotating around in a clockwise fashion. Here comes the front. The high pressure gets bumped out of here. That front comes down and produces a few showers over the northern portion of the state, but not much for us. We may see a few inland showers on Wednesday. That rain chance is not all that high for a few passing inland showers. Well, a big storm system, a low pressure area moving through the upper Mississippi Valley right now, and the attendant cold front, and then some big storms firing up now near Omaha and Iowa. We have some rainfall, mainly in Ohio, from Cincinnati to Columbus, all the way over into southern Indiana and West Virginia. I mentioned that rough weather, that line of severe storms starting to break out now just to the east of Omaha, where there are some severe weather watches. You see the area in red here, that's all a tornado watch tonight. And you can see that it covers Kansas City, east of Omaha, stretching up to Iowa near Minneapolis. These yellow little areas that you see there, those are severe thunderstorm warnings with a tornado warning now in northern sections of Iowa. And then all this is strong wind and there are high fire danger across much of the northern and central plain states. Temperatures very warm. In fact, Kansas City 76, same temperature as Sarasota right now. 59 in Chicago, Detroit at 53. The cold air still over the northern Rockies and northern plains. For boaters tomorrow, as I mentioned, still breezy, but the small craft advisory has been lifted. A light to moderate chop, seas running 2 to 3 feet as those east winds will blow at 10 to 15 knots. The UV index high tomorrow 10, and it's kind of deceptive out there when the temperature seems so nice and the wind is blowing. It doesn't seem like it's much of a problem, but still load up on that sunscreen. You're getting burned. To 77 degrees for a high temperature at the area beaches. Tides upcoming for Sarasota Bay at 6:20. The forecast looks like this. Mostly fair, mild. 58 degrees tonight. Northeast winds 15 to 20 tomorrow. Look for some sunshine. Much of it mostly sunny, breezy. 80 degrees. Southeast winds 10 to 15. A little bit higher humidity tomorrow as a result of that southeasterly component. And the 7-day forecast. Slight chance for showers on Thursday. We lose an hour Saturday night. We get some showers possibly on Sunday and Monday as a weak cold front gets very close to us. Scott?
All right. Thank you so much, Bob. In Suncoast Traffic Watch, no crashes right now, but we're seeing I-75 slow going there from Bee Ridge Road north to Fruitville Road in Sarasota. Eating an inflammatory diet as a teen may increase a woman's risk of breast cancer. Researchers studied women who, as high schoolers, had diets thought to increase levels of inflammation in the body. Results showed that these women were more likely to develop breast cancer as adults prior to menopause. Women who consumed inflammatory diets during their 20s, 30s, and 40s were also at increased risk of breast cancer before menopause. These diets are low in vegetables, high in sugar, carbs, and processed meats. Exercise may cancel out the heart risks of being overweight or obese during middle age. The research published in a European Journal of Preventive Cardiology found that people of all weights with a high level of physical activity saw a decreased risk of heart disease. However, those who were overweight or obese but did not exercise had an increased risk. Regardless of body mass index, any level of exercise was linked with a reduced risk of heart disease. Researchers say having excess weight accelerates the hardening of arteries, which can lead to heart disease. But exercise appears to reverse that effect by lowering plaque and reducing oxygen demand on the heart. A French teen who had sickle cell disease underwent a first-of-its-kind procedure 15 months ago to change his DNA and now shows no signs of the disease. The procedure may offer some hope to millions of patients with sickle cell. In the world's first, doctors removed his bone marrow and genetically altered it using a virus to compensate for the defect in his DNA that causes sickle cell disease. The results published in the New England Journal of Medicine report that he no longer uses medication and his blood tests are normal. That's remarkable. Coming up, a terrifying attack on a hotel worker, how the victim was able to help police catch this intruder. Plus, swim at your own risk in North Florida, what a sheriff's deputy removed from a swimming hole. We'll show you that straight ahead.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Join us for Sarasota Opera's 2017 Winter Festival, opening February 11th. Featuring Puccini's most famous opera, Madame Butterfly, Rossini's delightful comedy, The Italian Girl in Algiers, Poulenc's heartbreaking Dialogues of the Carmelites, and the medieval thriller The Love of Three Kings by Italo Montemezzi. Tickets are on sale now. Call 941-328-1300 or visit sarasotaopera.org.
If you want to rediscover the smooth, radiant skin of your past, consider a facelift, eyelid lift, or laser resurfacing from Faces by Fezza. Restore your natural, youthful appearance and the confidence that goes with it when you trust your face to the expert hands of Dr. John Fezza. Using a delicate touch, he gives you natural-looking contours, a clean jawline, and long-lasting results. Call today to schedule a private consultation, because when you look good, you feel good. Faces by Fezza at Center for Sight.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
It's the granddaddy of them all, the 89th Annual Arcadia All-Florida Championship Rodeo. March 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, the Arcadia Rodeo Association is proud to present this PRCA-sanctioned event featuring some of the world's best bull, bronc, and bareback riding, roping, barrel racing, and steer wrestling. For the little wranglers, there's a calf scramble and mutton busting. Gates open at 11 each day. For tickets, visit arcadiarodeo.com or call 800-749-7633. It's rodeo at its finest. Don't miss the 89th All-Florida Championship Rodeo, March 9th through 12th.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Now to a terrifying incident caught on surveillance camera that shows a fearless hotel worker fighting off a masked attacker, and her quick reaction helped police catch him. Surveillance video shows the masked man creeping around the lobby of an Omaha, Nebraska hotel, walking down the halls and peering around corners. Just after 3 a.m. on Wednesday, a female employee gets up from a back office, and that's when the attacker springs into action. As the two struggle, police say he tried to force her into a nearby bathroom, but she was able to fight back and pull the mask off his face. The man ran off, but then came back to get his mask from the woman, who deputies say was on the phone with 911. Investigators say the suspect is Zachary Person, who is a repeat offender and likely would have struck again.
Was pending sentencing for similar attacks on female joggers, students, and gas station employees in South Dakota and Nebraska between 2007 and 2017.
Investigators are crediting the hotel worker for their success in identifying the suspect, all because she was able to rip off his mask. Creating objects with 3D printers is reaching new heights. A Russian company says it has created the first house using a high-tech printer. It's about 1,100 square feet and took only 24 hours to create. The company, Apis Core, says it has developed a huge mobile construction 3D printer that can create entire buildings on site. That's incredible. A really bad parking job here on the Suncoast is now getting national attention. A Ford Fusion had to be removed from a Walmart parking lot in Englewood after it somehow came to rest on top of a classic 1959 Corvette. Oh, that's painful to look at, isn't it? A local resident, Jason Motz, captured the aftermath on camera. The bizarre accident caused some significant damage to that vintage car, but fortunately no one was hurt. Apparently the driver of the Ford hit the gas instead of the brake. People may want to think twice before going for a swim at a popular spot near Ocala in north central Florida. The Marion County Sheriff's Office posting pictures on its Facebook page of a 13-foot gator from the Silver Glen Springs Recreation Area. A deputy called the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission on Saturday after getting a call about the gator. The FWC called in trappers who helped the deputy pull that gator from the swimming hole. The area was later reopened to swimmers. That's a big gator. Still to come in your Suncoast News, more than a dozen students suspended from a Manatee County private school. What the baseball players are accused of doing that got them into trouble. Plus, more invasive pat-downs. The TSA warns police about its new airport procedures. We'll tell you about them right after this.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction. Spend time choosing from exciting colors, textures, and accessories, and then collaborate with one of our expert designers to create the perfect custom storage solution to fit your style and budget. At California Closets, we design everything to exceed your expectations for any room in your home. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the nearest showroom to you. California Closets, designed to your life.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.